I can do this, you can do this, we can do this, let's do this. Because today is the best day ever. And here's my first question for you, Venters. Tell me why today is the best day ever. I was watching some videos on TikTok like I do every evening, looking for the videos that I like to share for the nighttime portion of our show. And I came across this one trending topic, today is the best day ever, or today is the greatest day ever. And it's something that if we tell ourselves this every single day, eventually our brain, and perhaps even the most important part of our brain, our subconscious, will actually start to believe it. So, just like I said a minute ago, today's the best day ever. Let me know why. Guys, after watching this TikTok strand of different videos of people telling me why today was the best day ever, I started looking up YouTube videos, or perhaps my phone was spying and it started sharing YouTube videos with me about different philosophy. And today I saw a video that I want to share with you guys. It's by a YouTube channel called Info for You. And the title of the video was 80 Psychology Facts about Human Behavior. I'm only going to share 10 of the 80, but I invite you to take a look at Info for You's channel if you want to see the other 70. So I'm going to read 10 of them to you. I really thought they were awesome, and guess what? You will too. By the way, if you're new to the channel, if you don't mind, hit subscribe and hit the thumbs up button. That way this video is shared with people all across the world. Guys, when someone appears in your dreams, it's because they're missing you. People see you 20% more attractive than you see yourself. By the way, today I went to Target, and everything there was kind of expensive, not super expensive, but just, more than 20 bucks on average, right? And all of a sudden I realized more than anything, I needed a new toothbrush, and I was able to find one for 99 cents. Yes, it was one of the cheaper ones, but you know what? You put some toothpaste on, you brush your teeth twice a day, you're good. Today's the best day ever. If someone texts you after a long time, that means they want to ask you for something. That's true. That's true. Think about every time somebody texts you out of the blue. Usually it's to borrow money or to ask you if you want to do something or something. But either way, they want to find or ask you for something. So yesterday it was freezing. Today it feels like it's back up to 80 degrees. Feels nice. Sometimes when you get cold and you're not used to the cold, to feel the warmth again feels more familiar. And it's like, oh yeah, I forgot how much I appreciate a sunshiny day. When I was in grade school, I didn't really like when it rained because we were confined to the blacktop. We weren't allowed to go play touch football. But as you become an adult and you get away from the games of children, all of a sudden you appreciate when it rains more. But when you're walking and it's a little chilly, you'd rather just have a nice, even keel temperature like today. Feels nice. Number 4, did you guys know it only takes up to 4 minutes to decide whether you like someone or not? And I have a feeling if you look at the time of this video, I'm just guessing that we're around the 4-minute mark now. So if you do like this, hit either the thumbs up or the thumbs down button. That way it lets the algorithm know that you think other people might like this channel too. Hey, today was the best day ever. I actually went and got a tax refund today when I did my taxes. That was nice. Usually I get a refund. It's a couple $100, nothing major, but I think we can all agree that's better than owing. Definitely better than owing. Number 5, I always tell you guys this because I believe it's so true, and I believe it's a gift that we were all given, but we choose to ignore it. It's number 5. It's your gut. Feelings are usually accurate and true. Always go with your gut. Always go with your gut. How many times have you made a bad decision and then afterwards you told yourself, I knew I was making a bad decision? I'm telling you, we don't necessarily know when we make great decisions till after the fact, but we almost all know when we're making a bad decision or a bad choice. I think sometimes, especially when we're younger, it's a little bit easier to be swayed by peer pressure. Maybe you have a significant other and they have a way of talking you into things. As you get older, I think that's why they say many of us kind of become grouchy as we get older, because we get tired of the bullshit that happens when we're younger. Can I get an amen? So right after I got my tax refund, I went to Target and I went to their clearance section and I bought myself a pair of joggers. They're kind of like, pants that you jog in or exercise in. Now, in the next month or two, it's going to get way too hot to enjoy these joggers, but as it cools down going into the fall and into the summer, into the fall and winter later in the year, hopefully I'll be able to bust them out. But here's the cool thing. By buying them clearance, instead of spending 30 or 35 bucks, whatever the price tag said, they were clearanced, all the way down to $17. So you remember, always try to shop out of season. Take a look at the clearance section. I know these are things that women have always known, right? But guys, you should take advantage of this too. In the next month or two, I'm probably gonna go to the mall and to, stores like Dillard's and stuff to take a look at their coats and jackets. It seems a little weird because I already have a half dozen coats or jackets, but again, you get a nice expensive coat for half price. That's my philosophy on things, ladies and gentlemen. Number 6, did you guys know you appear way more attractive to a person when you make them laugh or smile? One of the best ways to make people laugh or smile is to laugh and smile yourself. So remember, people are looking at you throughout the day. Try to be your best, try to be kind. And the way you can share and show your kindness and your best is to smile every now and then. I remember one of my friends at work was talking about RBF. And I was like, what the hell does RBF mean? And she's like, resting bitch face. If you're the type that has resting bitch face, that's a sign from above that you need to smile a little bit more. I think a lot of us, I look at my videos at night and it looks like I have a natural frown on my puss here. I'm gonna try to start smiling a little bit more, but here's the problem with smiling. Sometimes you look psychotic when you're always smiling. When you're walking, I'm gonna say this to all the venters that walk religiously, and it's warm outside, and then you find yourself walking through an extended patch of shade. Isn't that just a little gift? Does anyone feel that way, or is it just me? The shade in Arizona is almost always 10, 15 degrees cooler than the unshaded portion. You can feel that regardless of the weather or the time of year. So right now it's probably like 80 degrees out, but in the shade it probably feels a little bit closer to 70. It's a little patch of air conditioning that you walk through. It's nice. That's part of when you walk. Get used to enjoying the fresh air, keeping your mouth closed. Take a look at the houses in your neighborhood. Take a look at people's front yards. Wow, it looks like that guy is really doing something neat with his front yard. Get ideas. You might not be able to do a darn thing right now because of your finances, but you want to know something? You could win the lottery this weekend. Remember, it's the best day ever. You might have the ability to do something right when your tax refund comes. If you're young, if you're in your 20s, I want you to hear my voice. So many people my age and older, in their 40s and 50s, talk about how if they would have taken their tax refunds or even put away $100 a month into some sort of retirement plan, that they would have been a millionaire by now. You're in your 20s. You're getting a tax refund. Why not look into opening some sort of IRA, like a Roth IRA account for yourself? That's not me giving financial advice. I'm just saying, why not look into it? If you could start something, putting away $100 a month, or even your tax refund towards it, Wouldn't it be cool to all of a sudden find yourself in my age group, pushing 50, and you've already got $1 million saved up? Look into those things. You don't have to pull the trigger, but look into those things. What I also urge you not to do is don't take your tax refund and just blow it on frivolous stuff. Do you deserve to take yourself on vacation and buy what you want? Of course, it's your money. But why not do something strategic? Jump into your think tank while you're on your walk and think about something that you can do with that tax refund. Let's say on the other end of things, you know you're gonna owe. Don't get in that bad habit of just saying, well, I won't do my taxes this year. I'll wait till one day when I can afford to do my taxes. No, you have to do your taxes. Don't start getting behind the 8 ball. Once you start doing that in life, it's really hard to catch up. Go do your taxes. You ever meet somebody, guys, and they're like, oh my God, I haven't done my taxes since 2010, and you're freaking out for them, because we always hear these stories about how nobody ever gets out of their tax debt, and the IRS can be cruel. So whatever you do, tackle your problems, don't avoid them. Number 7, pretending not to care is the habit of someone who generally cares the most or cares too much. You know why that makes sense to me? Because when people do care a little too much, what's the thing we always give them as advice? We always tell them something along the lines of, chill out, don't sweat the small stuff, you care a little too much, just pretend like you don't care and everything will cheer up for you. I'll even use that for dating advice. If you really want someone to like you a little bit more, care about them a little bit less. And it's just like this says, even though you're caring about them less or looking like you don't care, it simply means you do care, okay? So care a little bit less, and maybe they'll pop into your life. Here's another question for you, venters. Do you find yourself being the person that cares a little too much? Sometimes you gotta have stoicism, right? Sometimes you gotta let things kind of fly off your shoulders, let it go in one ear and out the other. You don't have to fight every war. It's okay to sit one of these wars out, sit on the sideline. You'll be happier. Psychology says if you announce your goals to others, you are less likely to succeed. That's another one of those goals that I always tell you, if you legitimately want to lose 25 or 30 pounds, whether you want it to happen in 1 month, 3 months, or 12 months, it doesn't necessarily make it happen if you share it with people. I know sometimes we think that if we declare it to the world, it'll come true. You can declare it to the universe, but you don't have to declare it to the world, right? Do things, put actions behind your words, but tell your words to yourself every single day. Not only is this the best day ever, but I'm gonna lose 30 pounds. I'm gonna walk every day. I'm gonna drink water every day. I'm gonna quit eating sugar. By the way, today, day 4, no sugar. Just like usual, it always gets easier and easier. People will form an opinion about you in the first 7 seconds of meeting you. So maybe instead of saying, welcome back, maybe I'll start saying, this is the best day ever. Tell me why. You know, people actually are looking to connect with positive energy. And so a lot of times people like myself forget that part of venting is kind of throwing out some negative energy. So every now and again, it's good to remember we're a walking channel. We're about solving problems, not just ruminating over them. And we can do this together. So if you find yourself being a negative Nancy too, and you want to be a little bit more positive, then every day at the beginning of the show, just write, today is the best day ever. Let's do it together. I'm totally into hypnotizing us. What do you guys think? Could you imagine if somebody hypnotized you into success and happiness? You would be thankful forever. Well, there is no magician out there that can hypnotize you like that. You have to decide to do it for yourself. And the best way to do it is just through repetitive motion. We're weak at it right now. Right now, we might not even believe it. But remember, if we say it long enough, pretty soon our subconscious will actually start to believe it's true. And when your brain believes that today is the best day ever, just imagine all the cool stuff we'll be able to do. I think we're going to get there together. We really are. By the way, speaking of best day ever, I can just tell 4 days off of sugar, my gut is starting to go down. The reason I had to ultimately quit the sugar is because I felt like my gut was doing that bubble gut thing. I think it's just, when you eat constant junk food, I think you're going to get fat no matter how much you walk. You got to keep walking. Did you know that we may remember positive experiences, but we will remember negative ones? That's exactly why you and me, we have to start training our mind to look more towards the positive. Does that mean that we just bury our head in the sand and forget about the negative things in the world? No. When people are suffering out there, you want to feel for them, right? But at the same time, it's easy to remember that negative stuff and actually depress your system. That's why you and I need to always remember the positive experiences. But because it's easier to remember the negative stuff, you and I have to make a conscious decision that we're going to try to think more positively. So once again, it's the best day ever. This YouTube channel, once again, is called Info, and then the number 4, and then the letter U. The title of their video was 80 Psychology Facts About Human Behavior. I recommend that you go check out that video. I think you'll like it. And I took a couple comments from it because right now it has about 2.5 million views, and a lot of people seem to really like it. And I'm sure you will too. At My Mind's Eye Sees 2002 says, if someone texts you after a long time, that means he or she wants to ask you something. Genius, just genius. Yeah, I don't know if I would put that in the genius code, right? I think that's a given. If someone texts you, usually, especially if it's been a long time, they usually at minimum want to know what you're up to, right? Occasionally, it's a little bit more agenda-based. Maybe they want some money that they want to borrow. My ex-girlfriend hadn't spoken to me in quite a long time. And all of a sudden she sends this text, and a couple of minutes later on this same thread of text that we're going back and forth with, you won't believe it, she's like, hey, can you kind of sign for me to get this one place? I have plenty to pay for it. And it's like, we've been broken up for years now. Why on God's green earth would I want to risk my credit and put my name on your lease of your apartment or townhome? Get out of here. Holy moly. Needless to say, after that request was rejected, she went right back to us not talking, which I'm totally cool with, by the way. Here's this one. Tell me if you like this as much as I did. Write down your negative thoughts on paper and then proceed to throw them in the trash. Do this whenever you're sad. Think about that. That is literally telling your mind, we're going to acknowledge these problems, we're going to put it down on paper, we're going to crinkle up that paper, and we're going to throw it away. Do you ever think about yesterday's trash that you threw in the dumpster? Nope. And you and I are going to train our brain not to think about the sad, depressing stuff that we tend to think about. So again, when you have a negative thought, if you have a negative thought right now, put it down on paper, crumple that bad boy up, and throw it in the wastebasket. And then if you have the courage, tell us how today is the best day ever. If someone is always angry with you, it's no big deal. Just stay calm. You know why? Because later on, they'll be ashamed. I've had that a lot, guys. I have guilt. Sometimes I'm angry and mean to people, and literally 2 or 3 days later, I'm calling them saying, hey, just want to apologize. I didn't mean it, Because sometimes when we're angry, things come out, and they come out the wrong ways when you're angry. Sometimes it's good to feel guilt. It lets you know that, hey, let's revisit this. I might be in the wrong. And when you actually call people and apologize, it does make you feel better. I'm living proof. Don't see a cat on a leash very often. Meshach Dominic says, listen carefully how a person speaks about other people to you. This is exactly how they will speak about you to others. That is a true statement. That is very, very true. That was one of the sayings that they put up there, and I think we've all heard that before. One of the best things you can do if you absolutely have to gossip about others, you can leave them anonymous. You can just say, hey, I had this one person that was talking about this, this, and this. I'm going to keep their name out of it, but check out this story. Or what's stopping you from telling a positive story, right? If you're going to gossip, why not throw out some positive gossip? Like, hey, did you know John likes to give to charity? I mean, hell, is that sexy or what, that John? You know, there's nothing stopping you from giving out some positive gossip. And I know right now you're thinking, holy shit, Jesse, I've never in my life thought about throwing out some positive gossip. Well, you know what? Today is the best day ever. Chantel Carvalho says, I think it's impossible not to talk to yourself. That was another one of the points. Your mind is always busy. You're always trying to place things, understand things, remember things. You know why I wrote that down? I was watching a video the other day, and I've watched it 3 or 4 times over the past year. And you might have seen this video too. It was saying that like 1 out of every 4 people does not have an inner voice. So I agree with this person. How can you not think about something? Your mind's always thinking about others or problems or bills, right? But supposedly there's 1 out of every 4 or 5 of us that doesn't have that inner monologue or inner dialogue with themselves. If you're one of those people, you're a background character. So what's more fascinating? That we all think about this BS, or that certain members of our society don't? I think it's all fascinating. And I think you walking with me every day for the past year has been fascinating, and I want you to know how much I appreciate it. It's the best day ever. I'll see you tomorrow.